All right guys, so we're going to show you a little bit behind the scenes of our V1X rear wing. We're actually going to be showing you about the new product, a Supra V1X, so that's going to be kind of cool for us to show you. A lot of people don't know, but our V1X rear wings are actually made locally at a local carbon shop. We produce the molds here at Verus Engineering, actually on this router, and then we actually ship them over to the carbon shop, which then they use to produce the wing.
All of the adhesive we use has been FIA crash tested, so we know it's extremely durable, the longevity of it, we know it'll hold up in a crash. Bill is getting ready to lay down the first layer of 3K, so that's the outer layer of material that you see on the wings. That's the visual layer that everybody likes to see, the 2x2 3K twill. With pre-preg carbon fiber, it has the exact manufacturer's specifications for how much resin content you want for those fibers. Whereas if you're doing resin infusion, you're doing a great guess and how much resin the fibers will hold, but you can also put too much resin into the fibers and that can make a part brittle. Obviously you don't want the extra weight when it's a lightweight racing application. You want to have it as light, as strong as possible. So when it's pre-impregnated, it has that manufacturer's specifications, whether it's 36% resin content, 41% resin content. Different manufacturers have different contents, and you can also order it to whatever you want if you need something with a different resin content from what they offer. I mean, another thing that we do in your wings that not a lot of people use is unidirectional material. So whereas the first layer is a 2x2 twill of 3K carbon fiber, this next layer that we put on is a unidirectional carbon fiber. So the material only goes in one direction. So that gives you your end strength for the flex. More expensive, it adds to the cost, but you end up with a much stronger wing. So now we got the first top skin laid up. We'll be moving on. He's laying up the spar section now. And once he's completed with the spar, we'll be moving on to the bottom skin, loading everything in the autoclave and curing it for tomorrow. In this project, to produce a wing, it takes us between about 12 to 14 man hours, all said and done by the time it's bonded and all the skins are made and everything. We take a lot of time ensuring that our product is a product that will last. It's a high quality product made for racing applications, and we've built it to withstand whatever you can throw at it, and it's probably one of the strongest wings you can buy on the market. It's our pressure vessel. This is where all the magic happens. So at the end of the day, once we have all our parts laid up for the day, we open this up, load everything in there, and start the cure process. So this entire vessel will pressurize to 60 psi and cured at 275 degrees Fahrenheit.
All right, so we developed the molds in-house, cut them in-house, and then we shipped them over to the composite shop. And here we have the finished products, some wings that are basically made off the molds that we made. All right, so we basically just popped some holes, so basically counter bores, and then we drilled some holes through the wing itself. This is to mount our wing mounts to the top of the wing for the swan neck wings. Next step for this is we actually load it up in our van and we get it over to our clear coater who works specifically with pre-preg carbon fiber because it actually takes a kind of a special workflow to clear coat pre-preg carbon fiber. So we actually are gonna go take that to them. These are gonna get clear coated and then we'll get on to testing.
Okay, so what makes clear coating carbon fiber so difficult is that at every intersecting point of the carbon weave, there's a small pinhole, and the clear coat does not automatically go down into those pinholes. It tends to form around it what we would call a fisheye. And a single fisheye can be tended to rather simply, but on the overall plane of a wing such as this, there's thousands of them. So after you prep everything for adhesion and get your clear coat on, you can only put you can't put 100 coats of clear on. You can only put, 3 at a time, 4 at a time. So you put all those on there, you let them dry, and then you basically use that clear coat as a primer. And you can go back over and sand all that smooth, and then you do the process again. After everything is sanded smooth, you go back in, you clear it again, and you just hope that they've filled. And sometimes that happens in 2 rounds, sometimes that's 3, and sometimes that's 4. Well, yes, there can be up to 12 layers. I don't want to exceed that number. What I would rather do is after like the second round, if there's still a lot of pinholes, we tend to try to go around and kind of fill those in with almost a tiny little Q-tip. You can sort of dab it into each individual hole. You can't do that when there's hundreds and hundreds of them, but if you're after your second round and there's only maybe a dozen of them, I'll go around and actually touch all those in after the second round, let those dry, and that way after the third round, hopefully everything will be completely filled in.
From there, we get it back, and then we'll actually assemble the wing, polish it, and then it's ready to go out the door.
What's up, guys? It's Tom. We've got the wing back from the manufacturer. I'm gonna go ahead and QC this, make sure everything is good, give it a nice polish, assemble it, and then we're good to go.